There we go. Conversation's on. Need you to drop more, please. I need you to go to 28 cents, please. And even then, 28's not low enough. I need a side thing to do while we watch this, though. Definitely in a downward fall. So we're betting on black, I should say. But now it's in an upward trend, but it's from a big downward fall. Okay. So, what was this? So you could have sold it at 32 at one point, and then we had a best downward fall of 28.6. So, 32 minus 28 gives you about 4 cents a share, so 100 shares times 4 would have been $4 made on 100 shares. If you would have sold at $4 worth of what you'd want to buy back at 28 shares. So if you would have sold at the 32 point and then bought back in at the 28 point, you would have created 100 would have went to 160. Now 160 shares at 32 makes $51, but at 28, 44, 32, it's a good amount of quick money like that. And that's how you ride these dips out. Problem is, I can't get it to dip. So I'm thinking about leaving the stream open, because I'd love to leave this stream open, and letting it go, and then just watching it and doing something else while I watch it. But I think I can make some money off this real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my previous transactions on this and how it has went for me. I think orders actually is where it's at. So originally I jumped into the Doge back when it was interesting. Oh, we have 3 pages of Doge. Okay, so originally when I first seen Doge, I had transferred my Libri credits of 1,000 LBC, which, by the way, let me just tell you how much, if I would have held on to my LBC, would be worth right now. At the time, my LBC was sold for $104. It's now worth $250, and no matter what, it's that much LBC is going to be $250. Now, LBC doesn't go down much. Initially that was $104, and then I sold that for I transferred it to Tether, which basically was, it's the equal currency to dollars. It's just Bitcoin form. I turned that into Bitcoin, and then I bought 1.7k of Doge. And if I had that still during, let's say, the high point, which was apparently 42, I would have made $714 off of 1,700 shares. But instead, here's what I actually did with 1,700 shares, okay? So I bought 1,700, and then I sold more LBC because I cashed out more LBC. And I turned it into 307, and eventually I got my Doge up to 3k, and I sold it, and then I bought it back at a lesser share for some reason. I don't know why. I think it went up in price, and then we went to here, and we sold it again, and we turned it into BTC. We did make some money off this here. I'm going to expand this because right now it's not dropped enough to where I can buy back in and make anything. I need to make more shares. I'm not worried about the money right now. But okay, so here's what we started out when we first seen Doge. We started out with basically, we ended up gathering it all the way up to, I think, 3,000 shares, which we've seen, and then for some reason, here, we'll go back, so. We got it up to 3,000 shares, which we then sold for 136, and it all started out as what was 103, so. First of all, we turned 103 to 136 at the start of the Doge craze, the real start of the Doge craze. We didn't buy any at the real good point, but we did buy it at the cheap point where we had 50. We literally spent 50 bucks, basically. Well, what was gonna be 50 bucks of value? Kinda. I missed the 50 buck point, but anywho, $144 was made from basically 103 plus. That turned into 560 Doge, which was 18 tether. Yeah, we made some money off the first run, and all that was from free, basically. The second run was a sell of 2-2 for 177. So we turned 138 into 177, and then we bought BTC, and then I think we just transferred that 177 to our bank. I think after that transfer to BTC, we transferred it over to Cryptarium, and we transferred it to our bank. We cashed out the 177. But recently, I cashed in my LBC back in, we'll expand this a little more. Ooh, 29.3 is still not enough. It needs to go down a lot more. So we're just going to chill here for now. Thank you. Okay, so I want a date on these, please. Thank you. Anyway, we've been cashing out our LBC, which is not that much value, and been just buying different stuff. So Doge is what we bought, and then we sold BTC to Doge for some reason. And then BTC to LBC, we bought back in the LBC. We sold our LBC, which was $57 worth. Oh, I know what we did. So this is where it started, okay? Check this out. This has been my past couple days on this. This is how I've been playing it. So on 3/27, we bought a total of 413. Really? Oh my goodness, we went down so much since then. 3/27, we bought 413 shares of Doge for 22 tether, basically $22. We logged in on the 14th and seen it was at, you know, I think 13 cents a share is when we sold or something like that. We sold all 413 shares of it, which turned into 220 LBC, which we sold for 57 tether. So we turned 22 into 57, and then we bought Doge, and we still need to be watching it. Speaking of nothing, okay. We need to drop really low. Okay, so where were we at? So we sold that Doge to $59, and then we bought back in, literally the same day, into what looks like USD tether, and then we bought Doge again for $248 for $60 worth of value. We then sold that for 70. We bought it back in for 70 in value. We sold that for 73. We bought back into it for 73. So we jumped back in because it looked like it was going somewhere, and then it wasn't. And then we left it. We woke up that morning and we sold it for 106. And yeah, we made, basically it all started as $22 and we turned it into 106 in 2 days. Since then we did a bunch of other different things. We bought a couple different other currencies and we transferred a couple of them out. And basically we're down to 30 bucks again, but we transferred 40 bucks out of it, I think. So, you know, that's something. It's fun. But this is my total holdings of everything on here. But back to what I'm doing. I'm doing a thing called share multiplying. When I can, because I can't right now, but I'm going to watch it until I can. I'll tell you what. So, the coolest thing about it is I need to get at least 101 shares before I buy any more. Because that's what I sold was 101 shares. And our whole point to selling was in hopes of... I hate this. There we go. I'd almost leave the Discord open. My whole point of selling was because I wanted to sell it at as high as I seen it right now. Because right now I need to be able to hop back in soon enough before going to sleep. Because I can't risk going to sleep and letting the Doge chill, because it could spike at any weird point. Because this is how the Doge goes. So we'll look at this now while we wait for this, because this is our main thing to watch anyway. So we'll go to the 1 week point. This is probably the best example of how the doge has been lately. So the 3 month point really tells it. So it started out as a 0.0008 cent share back in January, and then it went crazy and went to 7 to 8 cents, and then dropped back down and kind of rode at 5 and 4, but it never really, once it gains a certain value, it never really loses that value. It just fluctuates a bit, and the higher the value it is, the more it can go up or down. But as you can see, on the 12th, it went from 5 to 7 to 7, and then on the 12th into the 13th to the 15th, all the way to the 16th, we had a spike all the way up to what was, and we're gonna go at the 1 week view so you can actually see what it was. 1 day view here. We're gonna go 1 week. So the biggest spike we had was apparently 42, though I know it was 49. It was just very, very quickly gone because everyone sold instant. Because pump and dump, you know. But it did get up to 40 cents. Now the thing is, this is going to remain to be, my assumption is it won't drop below a quarter a share. I feel like that's right where it's going to be at all points. We sold at such an annoying time. It's so annoying. Watch this. I bet if we click this button over here, it's totally going to be way lower now. Could you... we change the number? No? Okay, so I need it to drop in value in order to multiply my shares, because we are currently holding USDs, which were created from Doge just by it gaining in value and selling it at a higher value. In order to gain any money here, we're riding a really dangerous point, because honestly 25 to 30 is probably floor anyway now. But I feel like we can go back down to 28. I feel like we can, and the reason why I feel like that, even though this is quite the spike here, like this may be its next big jump, because it's just been going lately, because this was insanity when we seen this happening, and then this started happening, and this has been happening like the past couple days. Now it's interesting because we're almost gonna pass this hill again, and maybe even this hill, but it's not anywhere I'm willing to buy at. So we gotta wait. I'd love to see it go down to 22 cents right now, because we currently hold 29.23, and we started with 102 shares, or 101 shares, 100.9 technically, but 29.3 divided by 0.22. If it drops down to 22 cents, we can turn 101 shares into 132, or I think 136. So let's say 132 for now, and let's say on 420 it does magically somehow hit the 50 cent point. We'll make it back into 66. That's why I'm trying to focus so hard on multiplication while we're in this weird period, because it is the weekend, and I think crypto's always open technically, but it's not really going to be open because it's the weekend. And the main goal for Doge right now is 420 to just nail it out of the water. But right now is a very volatile point that allows you to multiply small amount, and the more money you have into it, the more you can multiply it every single time, because it's a guaranteed multiplication. The more shares you have, the more you're going to create over what you bought for. So the best thing, I'm telling you, the best thing that I've seen here is this the lowest it's ever gotten? 1 week. So the highest it's ever gotten was 42, and after that the lowest that it ever gotten was 25 cents. So I mean 42 times 100, so 100 times 0.42 was $42, and then if you bought 42 divided by 0.25, you could turn, that'd give you 68 more. But if you had, say, 500 shares at 0.42, you'd have 210, and at 210 divided by 25, it would turn 500 shares into 840. So it would turn 340 extra shares versus 60 extra shares. So basically, the more shares you get, the more you're gonna make every single time it has a jump. So you want to create as many shares as possible. So those of you that when you see it go low and you're worried about it, it's a very good thing. It allows you to multiply shares, but it also allows you just to buy in when it's low. Because if you didn't sell when it was high and buy during low, you are stuck just buying when it's low, which works out for a lot of people because they can just stack and stack and stack and stack because it can go pretty low sometimes. I'd love to see it completely plummet today, actually. If it was to completely plummet today, I would be so happy because it'd mean I'd be able to buy so many shares. And I know it's going to get back to the quarter mark. I mean, it's already past the quarter mark. But I know if it ever goes down below the quarter mark, it'll get back up there quick. Because this isn't going to stop because this is interesting. Because, oh, no, man. We sold it earlier. Do we have to bump in? We might want to bump in. We might want to bump in right now. I think we might want to bump in right now. This is annoying. I want to turn this into more. Yeah, that's less. It's even less. I don't trust it. We're going to do this, but if it starts falling again, we're not buying it at 31 cents. I want to buy it at 30 cents. I'm going to buy it at 29, actually. We might wait for it to drop down to where we can get close to what we had. So 2 shares off, but I'm not going this many shares off. I guess we need a purchase order started, though. Because I think we're just going to jump into the next dip we see. Man, I need popcorn or something, I swear. I have chips. I'm gonna go with some chips. I'm gonna get some chips with soda. I'm just enjoying during this period. It's 30.4. Just a little bit. Okay. Might be time just to jump back in. Because we might be able to grow the money part. Mmm. 94 is definitely growable. Nope. There we go. We're definitely not spending 32 cents a share. This is about to have another plummet real quick. Go down enough for me to buy it back in, please. Or completely plummet. Really let me buy back in. 31 cents? Ah, it's tempting, but it's not enough shares. The more I look at this, the more I think I need to buy it back in and just ride it for a sec. Because the other reason why I'm thinking this is if we take a look at the 1 month point, well, 1 week is the safest. So check this out. So it's currently 7:39 a.m. Yep. So the highest point for this was 6 a.m. Even 7 and 9 wasn't bad for the first point. But for the recentest point, the best part it's ever had was at 9 p.m. on April 15th. It's only a couple hours away. And then if we look here again at, what time was it? 8 a.m. It hit 42. And then if we look here, so it does look like, yeah, at 8 a.m. it did really well, and then in the PMs it always drops off. Well, it doesn't always drop off, but you know what I'm saying? This period of time it was just nothing but a rise, but it still did have a drop-off point. No matter what, it always has a drop-off point at 9 p.m. But it seems like 8 to 9 is just the key point of making it multiply, and we are dropping a little bit. Oh my goodness, can we get it down to buying it 30 cents a share? I may actually be able to get 100 shares back here. Oh, drop, please, more. It's so annoying. Because when you get out of it, all you're rooting for is the opposite of what you've been. Oh, no, that went up. See, only 94.2 shares. I need it to be at least 100 shares. But it might be wise just to buy in at 94 now, wait a couple hours, and see what happens. Because, like I said, 8 to 10, I would honestly say, is the most likely points, because every single time, it's always been 8, 9, or 10, is when it rockets the most, and we're right at that point. And if you look before then, they did have a little bit of a slowdown. During the 7 to the 9 p.m. point, there was a slowdown in the rise. So for us right now, 7 to 7:41, it's rising back up, but slower. So I'm betting at 9 it's gonna rocket. I just don't know. I don't want to buy it now and then have it drop a lot just before boosting, because then I could get more shares right now. I'm gonna have to buy in soon, I think, because this is interesting. Because at first I was thinking, looking at the 1 day graph, that it was just going to continue crashing here, but this is 2 big jumps that have happened. I mean, it's done it before, but at the same time, you would have bought at this point, which was the 29-cent point, and then sold at the, yeah, I mean, it's 3 cents, but you could have worked that into growing a couple shares there. Would have been a little difficult. Oh, yeah, see, that can drop down to 31 cents because it's only at 30 cents right now, so we'll let it roll a couple more times. But I think within the next couple refreshes, the price we're going to go in. And then we're just going to wait till 9. Because that's what I'm betting on. 31 cents. Okay, we really tempted to jump in now. Well, it's probably just barely 31. It's probably like 31.9. But jump in now. Oh, ooh, are we in a downward or an uphill there? We want a live view of that. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, dear Lord. We're almost matching them now. That's what I really like to do, is when it gets to the point to where you can get it to match what your buying price is with what the current value is. Because the buying price is always a little bit higher, but you can get it to match the exact value. You just watch it like this. And we're crashing again. Can we go down to 29? If we could go down to 29 cents, I could actually get back in with 100 shares. But instead we'll have 94. Because 100 shares means more multiplication when it goes up. And when you sell when it goes up. Always, don't be greedy about pump and dump. 29.23, 94 shares. I only want 6 more. Go down. Go down, keep going down. Come on. At least it's not going up too much. It's like really, really consistently 30. I mean, it's like, it's not that bad that I sold it at what I sold it at, but you know. We're not buying in until we can get, I don't know. Either we gotta go down to 90 shares or we gotta go up to 100. I'm not buying until then, I suppose. We'll make that the rule. We'll watch a couple more refreshes. But I see someone's actually watching for a little bit now, so what's up? Are you either a fellow Doge person or just one of the people who watches my channel? Yeah, this is one of the things I play with, so... Ooh. 94.7, I mean 0.1 more of a share. Because it's almost 9. If by 10 it doesn't do anything, then I know it's dead, but... Time is it now? 7:44. We're almost at the 8 o'clock point as well. And even at 8 o'clock it gets spiked. Because it spiked at 8 o'clock before. Ooh. And look at that. We're on an upward climb there. We're almost at the point to where we can purchase it at the exact same price it's at. That either needs to start going crazy or something. But. No. It's still dropping there. Yeah, now it's dropping consistent. Oh, it's back. You're not being... There we go. We'll try that one. 30.4. Okay. 31 cents. Still, okay. 94.3. We went down in the number of shares we'll get. That means the value's going up very slowly. It's about to beat another peak point there too. What's this look like? It's not better. Yeah, that's gonna climb all the way back up to the 40-cent mark today, I think. Maybe. I mean, it is kind of difficult to judge that, but... No, the 32 cent. It should hit 32 cents again. I want it to drop right now. I'm trying to buy back in. Because I sell it. I will sell it when it gets high, and then I'll buy it back in. Like, I've cashed it out a couple times as actual dollars just to spend. But if you cash it out when it's really high, and then hold on, like, don't be greedy about it, because it is a cryptocurrency that doesn't really have a cap or anything. So it's gonna drop when it does go up high like this. A lot of people are gonna sell it because its main primary use is a fast transfer currency for Bitcoin. It's not Bitcoin, and I don't think it's forced taxed. I think you can actually transfer Doge without putting all your tax information in it. So it's mainly used for criminals. But if they have a currency they're holding and it goes up by a ton percentage wise and they have a lot of currency in it, they're going to cash it out and it's going to drop a lot. And that's with anyone that's holding the currency. And if you don't cash it out, you can just keep buying it when it goes low, which works because I've seen a lot of people have a large balance. And if I would have done that from when I started playing with it, when I had 3,000 shares for what was $100 and something, I'd have like $2,000 right now from it. And that was just when it was a 5-cent share, not when it was a 0.001 or 0.008. And I'm trying to multiply the shares. That's what you do, because you can start with any dollar balance and then buy it at a really low price and get the shares and then hold on to them until it goes to a higher price, and then sell it at that high price and wait for another dip. And when it dips really hard, buy it back in and you'll get more shares. 30.1, okay. Can we get back down to 28 or even 27 cents? Or get us down to 25? 30 to 25 would be 5 cents a share. Basically 5 cents more of a share per share if we bought it when it goes back to 30, because it's almost guaranteed to go back to 30. But it is the weekend right now. So that's the other reason why I'm willing to do this during the weekend. If it was during the weekday, I'd be terrified to sell a Doge. But since it's the weekend, stuff slows down on the weekend. So it should drop a little bit this weekend. It should be a great week to make more shares and then have the shares turn into more money. But no matter what, even if it takes a couple months, this is going to go up past 50 cents. Easy. Just because it's continuously being supported as a community thing. You can't really stop a community unless they make it illegal, which they have talked about making laws against this. But 30.1, still not far enough. We have 95 shares now we can get. I'm trying to get it to get up to the 100 shares, but it's just up to the Doge. Time is it? Okay. So we have like 2 hours and 20 minutes before the real prime time of when I think it will spike, if it goes to spike. That being said though, let's check something. Okay, so we want to check every single, yep, see, right there, 12 to 3 that time. And that went from 26 to 31.8. Oh, that was during the PM though. No, that was during the AM. No, even there had some of a jump. Yeah, so 7, it's not gonna happen. 8's not gonna happen. Even over here, 8's when it happened here, but that was a couple days. It's not 8 yet either. That's the other thing. It could spike right now. I'd be really mad if it spiked and just jumped into like $1 million. Just want to get that to at least 100 shares there. Oh, go down more. Go down to like 27, 26. If it goes down to 25, oh my goodness. I got 29.23 currently. Cashing some stuff out. Okay, so if I was able to get it at 25 cents a share, I could get 116 shares. So honestly, dang, I need more shares. I need shares to multiply, and then I need a big jump soon. But I need to get back in before the jump. We can get this down to buying at 30 cents a share. Easy. Actually, we're going to cancel this and try it again. And see if it will just automatically do it, because it's dropped a lot since then. Ooh, and we need to do this quick because otherwise... What? I have a balance. You stupid. There it is. I knew I had a balance. There we go. So, oh, it's still dropping. Awesome. We go with that. Review, but we're not going to complete it. 95.3, 29.9, 31 cents is what we can currently buy it at. Next refresh, if it doesn't randomly start going up again, we should be able to get it at right at 30 cents a share. That's still possible. Come on. Big drop so I can buy more. 30.1. No, keep going down. We're down to that 28 point, please. Okay, that's less shares. That sucks. I could have bought earlier and made more shares. Okay. But it's still going down again. Its floor is basically 25 to 30 cents now. So it's really difficult to watch it and see it get a good drop. Even if you look here, like most of the good drops, which I guess, let's see 1 day views. Here we go. Like this was the best drop by far in the past day. 28 cents from, I could say you could have sold at 31 cents. So. $28. So 3 cents less times, say, 1,000 shares. Okay, so 3,000 cents. So 30 bucks extra worth of shares that would be bought at 28 cents. Okay. I know if you look at the entire time since its growth, it's never had a complete. Once it hits a certain value, it keeps within that value and continues to go up, but it does have downfalls. Like, the higher the amount is, of course, the more likely it's gonna go. Yes, I love Doge, dude. I've been playing with the Doge. I think everyone's playing with the Doge. It's just so much money, dude. It's so easy to do. You just, 29.8. Next refresh, it may be at 30 cents. But the next refresh, one thing I have open is Robinhood, and the other thing's Bittrex. Bittrex is where I actually buy most of it, though I did redeem a free share on Bittrex and cashed it out, and I use it, and it has 13 shares, so it's nothing, but it is. Basically, if I make a decision on Bittrex, I make the opposite decision on Robinhood. So if I decide to hold on Robinhood, I will sell on Doge, and if I decide to sell on Doge, I will hold on Robinhood. That being said, Robinhood's a very small one, and I usually just don't sell on Robinhood, but that's because Robinhood only has $4 into it anyway. You know, I have my YouTube linked to a thing called Odyssey. It's like a separate YouTube streaming platform, and they pay in a crypto called LBC. So why not put it in the Doge? It's a lot of fun. It's like, it feels kind of like gambling, but it's not necessarily rigged. Unlike gambling. I want to see 30 cents buyable. I would almost buy it at 30 cents. Because it looks like it's going to get back to at least 32. At least 2 cents up. I'm just watching it at this specific time period, because if you don't watch it at this specific time period, you will really regret it, because this specific time period for multiple days in a row has been the highest point it's reached every single day. Oh, within a few hours of each other, of course. Like 8 is technically when it should spike, but it's not going to spike at 8. It's probably 9 or 10, I'm thinking. But it is also Sunday, so, like, you know, who's buying Doge on Sunday besides me? $30.10. Go down more. I want to buy more shares. Oh, if it would go down to 20 cents a share. $1.46 shares. Okay, times. Let's say it was to go up to 0.50, and then instantly, you know, that's gonna plummet back down to a quarter, and then you have 292, which, if it ever goes back up to 50 cents, would go back to 140. What? Why? Oh, divided by 0.50 would go to 584. So you have 584 shares, and say that. So you cash that out, and it goes back down to a quarter again. You can get 2336 divided by. Say you buy that 2336, and it goes back to 50 cents. You can get. Oh well. I lost my math somewhere. Anyway, point is, you can just continue to multiply it. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's like printing money, because, yeah, I've used it multiple times to make a quick buck and then cash that buck out and spend it on what I need. So, it's really weird. But it literally feels like printing money, because this is LBC given to me for free. For technically not free, I make YouTube videos, but it's pulled off my YouTube automatically. And then I just get the LBC monthly. And I turn it into Dogecoin. And then I play with the Dogecoin. And then I cash out it when I need it. I think last cash out I did was $30, but the one before that was $170, so I played with this a little bit. $95 tree is not enough shares, bro. Oh, and we're rising again. No, we're not. Okay, we're staying. Basically, if at any point the price of the Doge's value ever goes above 31 cents, while I can buy it at 31 cents, it's an instantaneous profit. So I'm willing to buy it at lower shares then, because it's an instantaneous addition of money. And then I can just watch it and sell it before it goes down to the loss of money again. But if it dips low enough, I can wait till then to get a bunch of shares. Or more shares, I suppose. So I either want a really big dip or a start of an upward trend I'm actually willing to accept with a reasonable price to buy back in. $0.30. I want that 30 cents buy price. I feel like that is the floor, and that is honestly where you need to be able to buy at. And right now, the lowest I can get it to is 31, and I don't want to buy at 31. Oh, ooh, this is what I was talking about. Here we are. It's 8 right now. 29.8. We're back down to 29. If it could go crazy and just start dropping like it's hot, I would love it. Keep going. Down or up a lot. $9.7. Okay. Still 31 cents though. Not bad. 96 shares though. We're only 4 off from my goal. If it ever hits to the point where I can get 100 shares out of it, we'll do that. Because at that point, even if it drops, I just won't sell it until it goes back up to a sellable price. But then it's a longer game to play. I'd like to be able to ride these dips. They're just not dipping hard enough yet. I gotta dip enough to actually make me more shares. I gotta have more shares to make more off smaller dips. But the more shares you get, the more you can make off the smaller dips. Which in turn leads to more shares to make even more off smaller dips. It's multiplication of money. It's the weirdest thing ever. $29.23. 96.1 shares. Okay. $29.8. It could very well go down enough to be able to buy it at 30 cents a share right now. But I think if it doesn't actually have an actual increase anytime soon above the 30-cent point, like if I don't see it at some point actually hit 31 extremely fast during a 30-second point, I know it's not going to spike that much. So there's no reason to jump into it if it's just going to be basically the same as having 30 bucks. So I'm waiting. 29.7 needs to go down more. Needs to go down more. $29.7. It's honestly never good to cash out your Doge completely. Always keep it on your Bittrex, but if you need the money, pull it out, which I have. But if I would have held on to all my shares of Doge a couple months ago when I had 3,000 of them, when it hit 42 cents, I would have had $1,500 just for letting it sit there. And I only cashed it out for like 170 at the time. Oh man, that hurt. Okay, we could get down to the 30-cent point, but if it keeps dropping when we get it down to the 30-cent point, we gotta wait again. We just don't want it to mess up over here on Bittrex's side. We'd like the counter to stay active. It's just so stuck at 30 cents. I think, I don't know how many days it's gonna ride out 30 cents, or if there's gonna be any good dips to buy in during the next couple days, or literally next couple hours, who knows for sure, or the next couple minutes even. But I'd rather not. Yes. Sweet. I don't want to buy it at 30 cents though. I want to buy it at lower than 30 cents for sure. 96. We're getting closer to our 100 shares goal. When it does go back to 35, because I almost bet it has to, at least by Monday, it has to get up to 35 again at some point in its point. And at that point, buying it at 30 and going to 35 even is a really cool number for me. I'm cool with that. So, let's see here. 100 times 0.35, 35. And then if we were to buy 35, divided by 30 would give 116. So it'd be a 16 multiplication, but only for 100 shares. If it was more shares, it'd multiply it by more, because each share gains a set few cents, however much, you know, it went up from the share price. So you need more shares, but in order to get more shares, you have to buy more or multiply them by following dips. It's just not dipping right now. It's had some good dipping points. This was a good dipping point. I was playing with this earlier. If I would have known this was going to continue to dip so far when I sold it at 42, I would have waited until the 25 point it hit. Oh, the last time it hit 25 was at 11 p.m. So it could be a while before it gets back to 25. Hey, by the way, 29.6. It's going back down to 30 at least, so that's something. I think I'm gonna kill the camera though. I'll leave the music on for y'all, but I'm gonna go chill. Technically, just the internet, I guess. Yeah, I'll answer that. Yeah, no, just the internet and playing with it. I just started for Doge. I've been watching it for a while, so I learned to watch the trends and stuff. Because there's specific points where you know it's gonna go up or down. And then I started making actually money on it, and it was fun. And I just found it on the internet, and then I had to fight a bunch of sites to get crypto, and then I realized I had it for free from Odyssey anyway, so I used it. I missed the Bitcoin, but I'm gonna get this Doge. Go down more. Please. 22 cents. I need a cheap share. I need to be able to get 100, please. And then it can go up Monday. I'm definitely gonna have Doge being held by 420 though, because that's what Twitter's saying. And follow Twitter. That's the other cool thing about Doge that's not cool about stocks. One, there's no short selling or whatever it is that messes up stocks. And two, this is fun. Also cheaper to invest in. It's not gonna go up enough though. Is it? $96.5, 96.8, okay. So 0.3 shares different. So he's at the point where it's about to get back to 30 easy. Because it's going up by decent numbers now. But it's still just riding at 30. It's going to ride 30 so long, I know it. I might just want to leave it in 30 right now. And just leave it where it is. And then come back in a couple hours and see how it is. But it's so annoying to leave it and then have it spike or drop. Because I've had to do both. But don't panic so when it drops a ton on you, because then you're losing a lot of money. Because this will go back up. Because it just has too much of a community following now. We literally have shirts of this crap. 95.9. See, this is what I'm saying. I might just want to grab them while I can get 96. Yeah. We might just want to grab it and then let it go for the next couple hours. See what happens. Because, oh, it would be so annoying if it was to dip a bazillion. If you were to purchase on, well, no, because this one only has, this one's at 26 cents. The Robinhood's 13 hold shares that I bought off the free Robinhood share they give you of random stock that I sold. It'd be something. But I don't think it's going to go that much below 30 anymore. It's not at 35. 96.3, okay, I'm tempted to now. It's been riding at 29.9 a while. I don't know. Because, see, okay, so how has it been doing in the past day? So, current trend. So first of all, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. it's done nothing but drop. And then after 7, it started the normal time, which is, you know, the normal time on every single one of these is right around 8, 9 o'clock is when it hits its peak. Besides the 16th, which was just a weird 5 o'clock. So I guess 5 o'clock's also a good point. So yeah, 5 still does good. Let's see here, back here. Yeah, 5 was right at a peak here, but then we had a really crazy peak after 5. So anytime after 5, actually, it looks like 5 to 10 seems to be a good point. And that was 5 to 10 previously. So 10, 5 to 10 though. Not much of a change. 30 cents exactly, 95.6. It's going down again, we're waiting. We're waiting. I think it's just so evenly on 30. I feel like it's just something you should buy at 30 and leave it. And wait and see what happens. I know it'll get back to 30 if it does go down from 30. But mainly Monday and Tuesday. I'm thinking 420 is going to be the best day for it, though. I feel like that day is just so perfect for it to hit 69 cents a share. It made me so happy. Oh, it's so tempting to just jump on it right now and then turn off the camera and just watch it. 30 cents? Yeah, see that right there? And what's it looking like as a one-day view again? Once again, it had a high point, and then it had many drops, but this one had a high point, and then many drops, and then finally a huge one. So I'm thinking if we do get any sort of drops here, which once again, I mean, that's right at the middle. 28's probably the lowest we're gonna get this at. I'm gonna bet. We needed to drop down to 28, and then I feel like it's just gonna go crazy. Oh, and it's trying to get back to its point here, which its high point here was 30.3. So it's gonna get back to 30.3. Can it get back to 31.3? Oh man, that wasn't even that bad of a drop. Yeah, this is the point where we go. No, we're barely at 30 cents. And we've just been riding this point. This is about to drop. I feel like this is about to drop. This is not the time to purchase yet. We gotta wait. Oh, good things come to those who wait. Hopefully. It goes back up again. Okay. I hate it. I want another period of... How many minutes was this? 20 to 55. So in 35 minutes from 8:15, so 8:40. If by 8:40 it hasn't completely plummeted, it's probably not going to. Being said, this is annoying. No, it's only going up by like hundreds max. It's never 1,000 jump, which is the main thing. Yep, and there we go. Oh, it's just such a minuscule up or down right now, and the only time it ever does good, it's a real good point to either sell and buy again is when it drops a lot, or when it jumps a lot. If you're buying, wait for it to dump a giant number. And if you're selling, wait for it to jump to a good number. Right now, it's just at a crappy number. 32 is almost the sellable number. If you hold it at buying it at 29 or something. Depending on the number of shares. If you have a couple thousand shares, you can technically pump and dump it a lot. You just have to be patient about waiting for the good dip. And not jumping on every dip. Though the more shares you have, the more you can jump on every single dip. No, not even close. It's not even close to me willing to click that button yet. Oh, it's very annoying to watch this. I hate watching this. And now it's slowing down on growth even more when it's already going at a slow pace. But it's still going up from where it was earlier. It's only by like 0.20. Oh my goodness. 0.0000, even 0.00001 at points. That's barely moving. I mean, from when it hit the 28 cents point, should have been the best time to buy and hold. Because I really don't know if I see it going below 28 cents. I feel like 28 cents is already gets 2 cents below the floor. And like that's just your time to buy. But I feel like the floor is going to be the middle point of its highest point at any point at this point. So let's look at it in the month view and see if we can go on that. So I got back to 6 and then it honestly tries to keep closer to the cap usually. And it rose 7 and dips back down to... Interesting. Oh, and it's dipping again. Nope. It's being very difficult. I hate it. And it's just been such a mess on the live view. But the 1 day view helps out a little bit. And that's kind of almost plateauing. It's almost just a dead even amount. That's so ridiculous. It's either gonna drop soon or it's gonna boost soon. Either or. Be very nice. I think I'm about to bump into it. I think I might just jump in with this. Well, now it's dropping again. $31.5, $34, $30. Oh, ooh, that went up by 200s there. Oh. Oh, okay, hold up. Now it drops by hundreds. Okay. 100. 283. 419. Oh, it might be time to jump in. 25. 32.5. Might be time to jump in. Well, you make $2, but then you cash it out and hold the $2, and you wait for the shares to go back down in price, and then you take that money you have and buy more shares, and then you get like 16 more shares. And then next time you do it, though, I mean, it depends. You want it to move more than 2 cents, but at 100 shares, it's a very low amount to make. That's for sure. And now we're just gonna watch it, I think. Because we have them in there, at least. Hold up. I'll show you how my last good play was on this. And that was very recently. Well, kind of recently, but it also includes, you know, holding on to stuff. So, let's see here. So, the past couple days have been fun, but... mainly 414 to 327. So on 327, I bought 20 bucks worth of Doge, or 22 bucks worth of Doge, basically, which was at the time 413 shares. I've since went down a lot in shares because of the fluctuation and everything. I'm making a couple incorrect bets, but anyway, started at 22, and then I sold it for, I don't know why I sold it for BTC. Oh yeah, I sold it for BTC to 0.8, and then I bought LBC for 220 LBC, and then I sold the LBC for 57 tether. So I made 22 go to 57 just by holding on to it, which I then went and bought Doge for 264, which, yeah, 264 for 57, and then that was 264. We sold that for 59, so it went up a bit and we sold it. And then we bought back to Tether, then we went to 248. So we went down, but the price went up. So this one we just were increasing the money because we were riding the upscale. This was a riding on the upscale to increase the US dollar point. And that was 60. And then we sold it at 70 the next point. So that went from 60 to 70, so that was a $10 profit. And that was literally within a couple hours. We went from 60 to selling it to 70. And then we bought back in from 248 to 280. So we got 32 extra shares for the exact same amount of money just by selling it and waiting not even a couple hours. And the more shares you have, the more you can get shares out of it. So if you start at 100 shares, you can continue to grow that into 200 shares and then 300 shares. And the more shares you have, the more you make per pump and dump you do. And it's not a pump and dump. I don't want to call it that because I feel like that's a little bit of an incorrect term, but yeah, it's still going up. We're cool. Anyway, so we made it to buying Doge to 280, and that made 70 tether, and then we sold it at 280 shares, making 73 tether, so that was 3 more made. And then we bought it again, making 293 shares, and this was, once again, all these were 130 and 416 at 53 to an hour 30. So literally, like, within 40 minutes, well, actually, hold up. So what was this? So this was 2311. Okay, so yeah, literally within like an hour-ish period, we made $3, which then we bought more Doge with, so 130, and then 7 hours later, we sold that same amount for 106. And I think we bought back in because it looked like it was gonna jump, and we didn't get a jump. So after that, it went down, and then yeah. So you can make the incorrect bets, but you can also increase it. You just can't be greedy about it when it goes up to a high point. I got greedy when it went up to the 40-something cent point, and yeah, I should have sold it. I sold it once, and then I jumped back in too soon. So that's why I think at 30 cents you can't go wrong, because I don't see it going anywhere beyond under 30 cents. At worst, it's gonna go to is 28, and then just don't sell it and just be like, well, could have bought that at 28. Oh, well, didn't. I know it's gonna go back to at least 35 by Monday, I would say. But right now, there's a 25% increase in 24 hours still. So it's way better than it was doing yesterday. If I just wouldn't have touched it right now, I would have so much more value there. But I pulled some of it out of there. 30.1. Yeah, I'm just gonna let this go. I feel like I'm gonna end the stream right now. I'm gonna check on this. I'm gonna leave it open on a window, but see, by 420, well, I mean, it's already hit 42 cents. It hit 49 cents for like half a second. And I didn't, I can't even show because it was such a quick jump. It dropped so quick once I hit 49. That's when it really cost. I wanted to see it hit 50. But I'm betting it can go back to 69 cents, to be honest, on 420. But that's because on the weekend, usually all this stuff slows down and dips anyway. So I should have expected it when I seen it go up on Friday, which is also the best day for it. It's definitely one of the most guaranteed days to go up is a Friday. That's how business in general works. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now, though. For all of you that have checked it out, awesome. We'll do more of these when we have played with this a bit more and we have a few more shares to play with, which we will next time we do this. But this has been fun, so I'm out. See you.